You got first. Let me see your hand, boss man.
I'll get that there.
Bill, if I seen a black male moving inside, gave him instructions to come out. He's not coming out.
Boss man, open up, boss man. Don't make it worse than what it is. Come out with your hands up.
Fine.
Don't fucking move.
Ain't nobody moving.
I got him. You got him?
Ain't nobody moving.
Put your hand behind your back.
I'm fine. Get that there.
220. That's too tight, officer.
Right now, it don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You're hurting me. You're trying to hurt me. I know what you're trying to do. You're hurting me.
Bro, put your hand like you praying. Put your hand like you praying.
I'm a disabled vet.
All right.
You're hurting me.
Hey, check on the victim inside, man. She's motionless on the ground.
It's a quiet evening in Miami Gardens, Florida. Inside her small apartment, Bridget Knighton sits on her couch, trying to find a moment of peace. The past few years of her life have been filled with pain, fear, and unending anxiety. For so long, she tried to break free from the man who haunted her every step. The restraining orders were supposed to protect her. The police reports, the court documents, the countless pleas for help, all of it was supposed to keep her safe.
Huh? Oh, yeah. What?
But on that fateful evening in May 2021, none of it mattered. She didn't expect him to show up again. She didn't expect her ex-fiancé to walk through the door, despite being legally banned from coming anywhere near her. But this time, he wasn't there just to argue. He wasn't there just to intimidate or threaten her. This time, he came with a gun. As she sat on her sofa, frozen in shock, he pointed the weapon at her. There was no last-minute apology, no hesitation. Just 8 deafening gunshots that tore through her body and echoed through the quiet halls of her building.
When I was putting the coat in, that's when I heard maybe 6 shots. Bah, bah,
I didn't hear no
bah,
shots.
bah, bah.
8 bullets that were meant to end her life forever. But this is not just a story about an attempted murder. It's a story about betrayal, not just by the man she once loved, but by the very system that was supposed to protect her. It's a story of a woman who survived the impossible, only to watch her attacker walk free. And it's a story that will leave you questioning, how could this happen? From years of hidden abuse to a shocking acquittal, stay till the end to find out how a woman who was shot 8 times is still fighting for her life, while her accused shooter walks the streets as a free man. To understand the horror of what happened in 2021, we need to go back to the beginning. Bridget Knighton and Gail Blount once looked like any other couple. Friends described them as loving, inseparable, and deeply committed. But behind that image was a truth so dark it was almost unspeakable. Bridget testified that from the very start, Blount showed signs of control. He wanted to know where she was at all times, who she was speaking to, and why she spent time away from him. At first, she thought it was love, a protective fiancé who cared deeply. But over time, the control turned into intimidation, and intimidation turned into violence. One day, while they were eating out at a restaurant, an argument broke out. Bridget tried to calm him down, embarrassed by the stares of strangers around them. But suddenly, Blount grabbed her and slammed her into a table. The room went silent. People watched, some in shock, some pretending not to notice. She remembers the humiliation on top of the pain, the feeling that no one would help her, that no one wanted to get involved. After that, things only got worse. Bridget said there were countless assaults she never reported, times when Blount hit her so hard she couldn't leave the house for days. She finally filed restraining orders, hoping it would stop him. But each time, Blount ignored them. He would come to her apartment, bang on her door, threaten her life, and leave her trembling in fear. She called the police. She told them about the threats, the physical attacks, the restraining order violations. Officers filed reports, but Blount always seemed to slip away, only to return again with more rage. For Bridget, every day was a battle to survive. Every night was a restless sleep, wondering if tomorrow would be her last. And then came May 2021, the day everything she feared finally happened. It was a humid evening in Miami Gardens. Bridget sat alone on her sofa, scrolling through her phone, trying to distract herself from the suffocating fear that had become a part of her life. Suddenly, she heard a knock at the door. Her heart dropped. She knew that knock. Standing outside was Blount. Once again, he was violating the restraining order. She didn't want to open the door. She didn't want to see his face or hear his voice. But before she could react, he was inside. The argument started immediately. Words flew like daggers, accusations, insults, threats.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know about him shooting her because I was asleep, but they've been arguing all night, like since like 8 o'clock.
Your dad and your mom live here.
That's his girlfriend.
That's his girlfriend. Okay. So your dad and your girlfriend, his girlfriend lives here?
She stays here.
She stays here, she'll live here. So this is you and your dad's place.
Yes.
She came over here?
Well, she's been
over here. So they were arguing since 8 o'clock, and you were asleep or you were awake when hearing? When you started hearing them argue?
When they was arguing. They've been arguing.
They've been arguing all day.
Yeah.
Were you awake when the shots went off?
No, I was asleep.
How did you?
I woke up
from the shots. And you came out and saw what?
I didn't come out.
You stayed in your room. Okay. Anything else happen? Did your dad come to your room at all?
Oh yeah, he told me like call the police. He shot her. He was sorry that, but
okay.
Hey, can you loosen up this left hand?
You gonna have to sit like that.
I'm just saying, can you loosen up the left hand?
You don't have to wait.
Okay.
You're gonna have to wait. We got a lady bleeding out. Yeah. Watch your feet.
But something was different this time. There was a coldness in his eyes that terrified her to her core. Then, without warning, Blount turned and walked out of the apartment. Bridget sat there trembling, thinking it was over for now. But minutes later, he came back. This time, he wasn't empty-handed. He had gone to his car and retrieved his gun. Standing in front of her, he raised the weapon. Bridget's eyes widened in shock and horror. She didn't even have time to beg for her life. In that split second, she realized this was it. This was how she would die. Blount pulled the trigger once, twice, 3 times, until 8 bullets had torn through her body. She remembers the pain, a pain so unbearable she couldn't even scream. As she lay there, bleeding out on her sofa, she heard him say something that still haunts her to this day. "Look what you made me do." Those were his final words before he left her there to die alone.
I don't know where the casings are at now. She pushed it over.
We got one here.
Yeah, there's one,
The
but
gun's over here, so they trying to.
the gun fell. The gun fell.
Yeah.
Just 3?
Yeah, there's so far 3, but the other one, the rescue,
When they were moving it,
she pushed it. We don't know where it went.
Oh wait, no, that's a casing right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
But right there.
Okay, see all 3 in front of you?
Oh, this right here.
So she was shot 3 times.
That's
The other one was an exit, right?
Yeah,
That's the one that came out. She hit the ground.
But Bridget wasn't ready to die. She clung to life as paramedics arrived and rushed her to the hospital. For 2 months, doctors worked tirelessly to save her. 11 surgeries later, she was alive. But her life would never be the same again. In the aftermath of the shooting, Miami Gardens police arrived at Bridget Knighton's apartment to find a scene that spoke louder than any words ever could. A living room soaked in blood, bullet holes marking the walls and furniture, and a young woman barely clinging to life on a stretcher. Detectives knew immediately this wasn't a random act of violence. Within minutes, officers at the scene recovered spent shell casings and quickly pieced together that the shooter was someone Bridget knew all too well, her ex-fiancé, Gail Blount.
Have him make contact with caller. Hey, come here. What does it look like to you? I said, what does it look like to you? No, look in there.
Bobblehead?
No, look in there. You person on the ground? Is she drunk? You drunk?
She's on the ground.
For real?
Yeah. She's bleeding. She's on the ground. She's bleeding.
Knock on the door, see if she can get to the door.
Boss man, open the door, boss man.
You got first.
Let me see your hand, boss man.
I'm out. On your left downstairs.
Be advised, I seen a black male moving inside. Gave him instructions to come out. He's not coming out.
Boss man, open up, boss man. Don't make it worse than what it is. Come out with your hands up. Don't fucking move.
Ain't nobody moving.
I got him.
You got him?
Ain't nobody moving.
Put your hand behind your back.
I'm fine. In the left hand.
220.
That's too tight off.
Right now, it don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't
You're
matter.
hurting me. You're trying to hurt me. I know what you're trying to do. You're hurting me.
Bro, put your hand like you praying. Put your hand like you praying.
I'm a disabled vet.
All right.
You're hurting me.
Hey, check on the victim side, man. She's motionless on the ground.
You got no way.
Ma'am.
Oh, Lord. What the?
Ma'am.
Bridget's condition was so critical that investigators couldn't question her for days, but they didn't have to wait long for confirmation. Her phone, the security cameras outside the complex, and neighbor statements told a clear story. Blount had come to her apartment that evening, despite multiple active restraining orders forbidding him from doing so. Hospital staff described Bridget's injuries in horrifying detail. 8 bullets had torn through her abdomen, legs, and arms, causing massive internal bleeding and shattered bones. Doctors warned detectives that if she did wake up, she would likely never walk the same way again, if at all. Detectives arrested Blount within 24 hours. They found him at his cousin's house, quietly sitting on a couch as if nothing had happened. When confronted, Blount didn't say much. He lawyered up fast, refusing to answer questions without an attorney present. The arrest report listed him as calm and cooperative, an eerie contrast to the violence he was accused of unleashing just hours earlier. Back at the station, detectives dug into the couple's history. They found stacks of police reports showing years of domestic violence calls, photos of bruises Bridget had provided, audio recordings of threatening voicemails, and court files with multiple restraining orders. The sheer amount of evidence painted a chilling portrait. Bridget had done everything she could to get help, but the system had failed her, again and again. When she was finally strong enough to speak, Bridget told detectives her version in painful, tearful detail.
Those restraining orders are just a piece of paper. They don't stop a bullet.
She described how Blount's anger would erupt without warning, how she often locked herself in the bathroom just to feel safe, and how she slept with her phone hidden under her pillow in case she needed to dial 911 in the middle of the night. She told them how Blount would break into her apartment despite the restraining orders, how she would sit silently on her couch, praying he would leave before things got violent. That night in May 2021 was the nightmare she'd always feared would come true.
He used his body to prevent me from fleeing or answering the door to the police, threatening to blow my brains out if I even uttered a sound. He also slammed me on a full table of food and dishes in a Pembroke Pines Denny. I repeatedly tried to escape him, but he always found me often boasting about it. I was embarrassed, isolated, and without hope. If I must endure this pain for the rest of my life because I dare survive his attempt to kill me, then he should not be spared a similar fate. I have a problem with 20 years.
Prosecutors felt confident they had an airtight case. Witness statements, medical records, restraining orders, prior documented assaults, everything lined up. They filed an attempted murder charge, arguing this wasn't a crime of passion or sudden rage. It was attempted, premeditated murder. After all, Blount had left the apartment, walked to his car, retrieved a gun, and returned to shoot Bridget multiple times while she sat defenseless on her sofa. For almost 4 years, Blount sat in jail awaiting trial. Prosecutors offered him a plea deal for 20 years behind bars. Blount initially agreed until the day of the plea hearing when Bridget gave her victim impact statement. Her words were so raw and powerful that the judge took an unusual step. He rejected the plea deal outright. He said the proposed punishment did not match the magnitude of suffering described by Bridget. The trauma, the permanent injuries, the daily fear of retaliation.
I was not aware when I accepted the guilty plea that this was the background. I would have to agree that that would be an appropriate sentence, and I don't.
The judge's decision meant the case would now go before a jury. For Bridget, it felt like a chance for true justice, but also a terrifying ordeal. She would have to sit in a courtroom just feet away from the man who tried to kill her and relive every horrifying detail.
She saw somebody that is suffering, and she said, enough. I'm going to be suffering for the rest of my life. And I just feel like he should as well.
In court, Blount changed his story. No longer was he admitting guilt. Now he claimed he acted in self-defense. He testified that during their argument, he believed Bridget was reaching for a gun.
When I pushed her to the couch, she said, "Oh, I got something for your ass." And on the couch was her purse. And she reached for a purse. I believe she was reaching for her firearm.
That he felt threatened, that he had no choice but to shoot.
I took my gun out of the small of my back and I shot my gun. I was aiming at her lower extremities. I was just trying to stop a threat. I was just trying to incapacitate her, but not kill her.
Bridget sat in court, listening to every word with disbelief. She knew it was another manipulation, another lie to escape responsibility. She had never had a gun. She was sitting on her sofa, unarmed, when he shot her. The prosecution presented the restraining orders, the police reports, her medical records, and her emotional testimony. They showed the pattern of abuse, the ignored court orders, the escalating violence. They argued that Blount was a dangerous man who tried to kill the woman he once claimed to love. But the defense painted a different picture. They called Blount a man who was scared for his life, who acted out of fear and desperation. And to the shock of everyone in the courtroom, the jury believed him. Blount was found not guilty of attempted murder. The self-defense claim worked.
The defendant is not guilty. Verdict count 2, shooting of throwing a deadly missile. With the jury find as follows to the information charging Gail Blount. The defendant is not guilty. So Savio Michael Lanley, 4 person.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very...
Bridget's attacker was acquitted, despite the 8 bullets he fired into her body. But that wasn't the only charge Blount faced. 2 months before the shooting, he was charged with misdemeanor battery for allegedly pushing Bridget into a table at a restaurant. Prosecutors brought video footage showing a prolonged argument before the push. Bridget testified about the humiliation she felt that day, being attacked in public while everyone watched in silent horror. But once again, the defense argued that it was a heated argument that escalated and that Blount didn't intend to hurt her. The jury watched the footage, heard both sides, and delivered another shocking verdict. After spending nearly 4 years in jail awaiting trial, Blount walked free.
We were concerned initially that the jury may not believe him because he was a man and a large man at that, but at the end of the day, justice was served. The jury heard the truth and they sided with the truth. And because of that now, Mr. Blount is a free man, rightfully so.
Bridget was left shattered. Her body had been permanently damaged. She needed a cane to walk. Every step reminded her of the bullets that tore through her flesh. Every sleepless night reminded her of the man who tried to kill her and got away with it. She publicly spoke about her fear, her anger, and her heartbreak over the verdict. In her words, "I survived what should have killed me, but he took away my life anyway, because now I have to live every day knowing he's out there." Bridget continues to seek further restraining orders, fearing he might return to finish what he started.
My body's changed forever. Forever. This is why women can't come forward. I feel like the system don't have your back. It's awful. I can't believe this happened. How did it happen? In my heart, I know he's going to come back and try to finish what he started. That's my fear. He deserved more time. Why would you take a plea if you're not guilty?
Her case has become a powerful example of the failures in protecting domestic violence victims. If restraining orders couldn't stop him, if court testimonies couldn't convict him, what hope do other victims have? The Bridget Knighton case is not just about a shooting. It's about a system that failed to protect a woman who did everything right. She filed police reports. She went to court. She got restraining orders. But in the end, none of it could stop the violence. Today, Bridget continues to fight, not just for her own safety, but to raise awareness for other victims trapped in abusive relationships. Her story is a painful reminder that justice is not always served, and sometimes survival is only the beginning of a much darker battle. What do you think about this case? Did the justice system fail Bridget Knighton? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this story impactful, please like this video and subscribe to Sinister Crime Channel for more real-life crime stories that reveal the darkest truths of our society. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.